Hey, this is Paul with Shutter Reality, and we got a new toy to share with you guys, and we have some opinions and thoughts that we'd like to share. So, what we have here today is a Nikon 70-200 2.8 VR1. It's new to us, but it's a used lens. I caught this secondhand off eBay for a reasonable price. I'm not going to say what though. But what I like about this lens, and my initial thought, is that it's built really well, and that you can tell it's a pro line lens compared to some of the other lenses that I've had in the past, and that you guys may have as well. What makes this different is that it's an all metal construction all the way along the barrel, and its back mount is also metal. Some of the cheaper lenses you get, like the kit lens 18-55 and the 55-200, sometimes the back of it will be plastic. It's okay, but for pro lenses that take a beating every day, you want the metal. Something else that's good on the back is that there's a gasket. It's called an ass gasket, but for the sake of this, it's just a rubber ring or gasket. If you have a weather sealed Nikon body like the D7000 like we're using, and up like the newer D7100 as well, that has weather sealing. So paired with this, you can take it out in the rain, you can shoot and not worry, but not in too extreme weather conditions, because then you're always subject to damage. This is a VR1, not a VR2. The newer version is a VR2, but what makes the difference is the newer version has about 1 stop difference in vibration reduction, giving you equivalent to an extra stop of light. When I say stop, it's like boosting up your shutter speed from, say, 500th of a second to 1,000th. So now that I talked about some of my opinions and some basic features, I'm gonna go a little more in depth on the outside of this lens. You can see that it comes with a pedal-shaped hood that cuts out the light as you go wide and tall and everything. That comes off. You got your lens cap, and then you have a nice 77mm thread mount that you can put your neutral density filters, your polarizers, or your neutral filters on. 77mm, nice. Coming around here, around the outside ring of the lens, you have 3 buttons. Right side, left side, and the bottom. The point of these is that if you're focused on something, and your subject, say, is moving, but you want to keep that same focus scale, you push and hold it, and it won't change. Even if you push the autofocus on your camera, as long as this is being held down, it will not change. Then here at the top of the lens, you have your focus scale, which tells you your distance, approximately of where your subject is in the focal range, focus range. Then it says vibration reduction, and then you got your zoom ring with your focus ring here as well. On the side of the lens, you got your manual focus and manual auto, your full to 2-meter infinity to limit if you're only shooting far. You can just lock it on, save time focusing back and forth. Then your VR functions, on and off, and then normal and active. Normal is for when you're on a tripod and you're panning. It focuses itself on reducing the vibration on the pan axis and not the vertical so much. But once you switch it to active, it does everything equally. Then, just beside that, you have your tripod collar. So if you have your camera mounted on a tripod mount, or on a tripod I should say, you could spin your camera from horizontal to vertical while the mount stays in place. It makes it really nifty going from portrait to landscape mode. You can lock that off with the button here. And then you have your tripod collar. This is where you connect your tripod to your lens. Because it's so heavy, you don't want to hang this off the front of your camera, because it may add excess stress to the mount and it could break, and you don't want that. So what you do is you put your camera on and attach this to the tripod and have your camera hanging off the back. It balances out nicely because there's 2 screw mounts where you can put your tripod on, depending on how heavy your camera is. If you have a big full-size body like a D4, D3X, or anything like that, or a smaller D3000, you can allocate it properly along the weight and distribute it properly. Also, a nice little feature that Nikon did is that this tripod collar is removable. So you unscrew it, and then there's a little button on the inside. You push forward and it comes off. It's really nifty if you have it on a tripod and you just want to take it off really quickly. Instead of dealing with the attachment on the tripod head, you just unscrew it, push the button, and it slides off. And then under there you have another tripod mount for any reason why you would want to mount something else. Totally up to you. Tighten that back down. For those of you that are shooting on DX format opposed to FX, there's some things that you should know about this going into purchasing one of these. Nothing's bad, but just education is always good. So when you mount this on your camera, it's 70-200 on a full frame sensor. Now, because crop sensors have a 1.5 crop factor, you magnify that. So a 70mm turns into like a 105 or some change, something like that. 105mm to 300. It multiplies it because it only focuses on the center or only uses the center of a glass throughout the camera. Now you're still gonna get bokeh at 2.8 all around your subject to be really nice and blown out, but you're not gonna get as much because the full frame sensor covers more area around the edges. Also with the VR1 opposed to the VR2, there's a little bit of vignetting around the edges if you're using full frame, but if you're using crop sensor, it doesn't make a difference. It's just as good. Another feature of this lens is that it's cheaper than the brand new VR2. A new VR2 is going to cost you around $2,300, $2,400 Canadian. I picked this up on eBay for $1,500, but it's still a great lens. Like, there's no scuffs, scratches. It's just fantastic. Like, I was utterly surprised when I picked it up and that there's nothing wrong with it. For those of you that want a budget zoom with a constant aperture, this is great. You won't need anything else for your nice portraiture, sports, nature, whatever you need long distance with. This is gonna be great. It's not only a 200, but it goes to 300 for you crop sensor guys. So that's our quick little video on the Nikon 70-200 VR1. We hope it's useful. If you have any comments, concerns, list it in the comment box below if you want to call it that. Let us know what you think, what you want to see. Anything new we get, we'll share with you guys, and we'll let you know how it's going. See you later. So now I'm just doing a little bit of voiceover with some pictures showing you what the different focal lengths look like on a crop sensor body. Once again, we're using the D7000. So I'm going to take a picture once I remove my lens cap. And I'm just going to focus on a shed at 70mm at 2.8. My ISO is 100, and I'm at 100th of a second. It's a little bit blown out, so let's bump that up a little bit. Spot metering. Look. Now the nice thing about 2.8 throughout the focal range is you don't have to change your settings. If you want to zoom in, just zoom in. Now we're going to go all the way out to 200. Same shed. VR is on. Searching for focus. Snap away. So that's just to show you guys the different focal lengths and how they'll look.